Hey guys, Shaman today. Welcome back to Raid Shadow Legends, and I want to talk about where to get the early game gear so you can progress in this game, because we all know that the worst thing to do in all these kind of game is to farm gear repeatedly in the dungeon, because you are going to get absolutely dog water dropped from the early game stages, and you only do this if the early game mission requires to do so. If you don't have to farm this, you do not farm this thing. And even for end game player, they don't even farm this like all the time like what we do in, let's say, Summoners War, for example. They only farm the dungeon when there is a tournament that requires them to do so. So in this game, there are going to be tournaments for pretty much anything that you do in the game, including breathing. Okay, you cannot breathe if there's no like breathing tournament. So you can see that there's like the Ice Golem tournament, there's the Sand Devil tournament. Pretty much you only play the content when there is a tournament going on, because when there is a tournament going on, you can potentially rank higher in your bracket and get more stuff out of the activity. So for example, this is going to be the arena tournament where I will get myself potentially artifact epic in the rank 1 reward if I do my classic arena. And when you look back at, for example, champion training tournament, I'm in my champion training arc because I am an early game player. It's kind of blurred. I am rank 1, okay? Zoom into the rank 1. I am rank 1 in this champ training tournament, so I will get myself epic artifact from the champ training tournament, and that is one source of gear in the early game. You can see that my Pelops right now are running with the Swift. It is 4-star, unfortunately, but it is a speed boot, which is going to be very important. You want every one of your champion to be on speed boot in the early game if possible. But the other one is going to be perception set. And you might be wondering, Sean, where the hell do you farm that in particular? So for Pelops, I get the set coming out from the Forge. So I think when you get level 30, you're going to unlock this. And you realize that if you do a little bit of faction war, which require you to beat like level 1, literally mushroom. You can sneeze on them and they pretty much die. So you can get 3-star in the early game faction war, and you get a little bit of forging material. And that is where you want to get the perception 4 to 5-star artifact. And that's going to help a lot for the majority of your early game build, because you need the accuracy for the dot and you need the speed so that your champion can actually move in front of the enemy. So that is where I get a lot of my gear in the early game. Another source is going to be pretty much the mission, the challenge in the game. So you can see that my Balawa or other character are using like 5-star attack gear, that kind of stuff. So when you go through the campaign and the early game dungeon, you have to, okay, you have to take a look at the mission, the Arbiter mission, and also the challenges can potentially give you a lot of rewards as well, and the passes. So this might be a pay to win function in Raid if you spend money in the game, that you can get, you can see that epic level artifact, but you can also get a decent amount of beginner gear. You get like the lifesteal one here, you get a lifesteal one here, and all you have to do is to complete the daily challenge, which shouldn't be too hard, and you need to do this as well. I don't think I have to 6-star KL because I've already finished the pass at this point, so 6-star in KL is not really a good idea because I'm gonna be wasting resources if I don't plan to use that guy in the later stages of the game. And there are more rewards hidden in the other passes as well, and you definitely can spend money if you want to. I think the kind of things that are more valuable to spend in these kind of game are always the passes, because these are the things that will lock you into the game. And also you get like a cool legendary champion at the end. So the things that require you to be inside the game for a long period of time and perform different kind of tasks are usually a bit more worth it, because they train you to play the game more frequently, and in turn you will never leave the game pretty much. So the passes usually have a little bit better value if you decide to spend money. So that is where you're going to get your early game gear set, and you only really need to gear up like 4 different characters. Maybe the 5th one can use really bad gear. So for Pelops, he is a mixed bruiser unit, but his damage scale with HP. So I'm running speed, HP, and HP percent. Ultimately, you want speed crit rate HP so that he can crit and do bigger damage. But if you can get speed HP percentage, that's going to be great for him in the early game. On the other hand, Balawa is going to be like a damage dealer scale with attack power. So I have like an attack pieces here, and we have crit rate, and we have speed on him so that he can help me clear content that require AoE damage. For your support character, that is going to be Tagoar that you're going to get using my link down below or the QR code on screen. You're going to need to get this guy on high HP and potentially high speed if possible. I'm trying to find like a speed boot for him so that he can actually move more frequently and buff my team with speed buff and also heal my team and shield my team as well. Another great way to get gear in the early game is going to be your daily login. So you can see right here, you get like 4-star, 3-star gear, 3-star ring that could be useful for the early game. And there are always going to be some sort of champion chase event going on. So for Ezio, you're going to get a very nice set of 6-star, 5-star gear over here. The 6-star boot is going to be absolutely incredible. So check the event section of the game to see if there's any login event going on, to see if you're going to get any gear from that, because that's going to help you a whole lot in your early game journey, getting the right gear for your champion. But let's say you're very desperate for a boot, you can look for the gear in a campaign mode as well, but I would not recommend you try to farm gear from this section of the game unless you are kind of stuck-ish and you can farm, let's say, the speed area where you can go at stage 6 to find the boots that you want. I don't think you would want to go stage 7 because here it dropped random pieces, so you might not get the one that you really need. So let's say you really want to get something out of the campaign, I would recommend trying to find a piece that you are lacking in. So if you need a boot, if you need a chest piece that will complete the set, you might want to farm in that certain stage so that you can get like the boots or the chest piece for HP percent and speed. Personally, I did not do a whole lot of that, and I focus on doing 12-3 Budo because once again, this is where you get the most bang for your buck in terms of the return of silver, EXP, drop, and all the good stuff for the farming. This might be a rare thing, but when you check your market every hour, you can potentially get a decent 5-star piece of gear the higher your level. So when you play the game, you want to unlock the market because here you're going to get a lot of fodder, which is very important. You are going to run out of fodder very fast. So what I do is I buy every single fodder that I see, as well as mystery shot in the market. But sometimes there will be a 5-star or 4-star piece of gear that can potentially give you like a speed boot, for example, and that can really change your game. And when you get your gear, do you upgrade them all the way to the max? So you can see that I have some pieces upgrade to plus 16, but some pieces stay at plus 12 because going from 12 to 16 is extremely expensive if you're unlucky. And I only plus 16 some very important piece like the 6-star attack percent one for my AoE damage dealer, or the 6-star HP percent here looks pretty good as well for some HP, or I will keep them at plus 12. Because if I can see that Pelops can solo a stage for my fodder farming, he doesn't need more stat at the moment, I do not plus 15 because it's crazy expensive. I have this one because I think the roll went pretty well, and you always want to look out for like speed substat roll whenever you roll your gear. If your gear have like resistant, HP flat, don't do it, okay? Look out for gear that have synergistic substat like speed, HP defense, speed, HP crit rate, that kind of thing, so that you can actually improve your champion with the substat and the main stat as well. So a lot of gear for me stay at plus 12 unless there's like an event or a mission that require me to go plus 16. Then I try to see if there's any piece that is really good that I trying to use over a long period of time. Then I go in plus 16 that, or I go in plus 16 like a 1-star piece of gear for the mission only. I've done that for a couple pieces of gear right here, like plus 12 1-star, so that they are cheaper, and when you plus 16 them, they're not going to cost you like a fucking arm and a leg, and you can still complete the mission. And also don't be afraid to go broken set in this game because I think the stat bonus is actually not that huge, and if you have like a very good HP percent piece and you want it on a character but it doesn't really create any of the set bonus, it is totally okay. And a lot of them have like 2 set bonus, so you can go like speed and then a broken piece, or like attack or something. The 4-piece set can be a bit more impactful, like lifesteal or relentless, that give you an extra turn. Very funny, haha. So those are a bit more impactful. There's also like a poison set, and that's really amazing. And you can see that this crazy part right here is pretty much fodder gear that I do when I farm fodder. And you can see that this ward of shield right here is pretty much like fodder gear because this is what you get for farming fodder. So that's going to be like at least like 1,000,000 silver right there. That is really cool. But don't be afraid to go broken set. There are also like very cool set that give you more stuff, all the way from 1 piece to like 9 piece. It's pretty crazy. So take a look at all these very interesting set, but don't be afraid to use like rainbow gear or broken set, and you're trying to get the most stat possible pretty much at the end of the day. Early game, it is all about getting the stats so you can survive and you can do enough damage. I do not recommend buying any of the gear pack that you might see in the shop, because from what I noticed, the gear pack in the shop doesn't actually show you the stat of the gear. You can get like a flat attack boots or resistant chest plate or whatever. The stat is not going to be good because it's going to be random, especially for the lower half of the gear. So getting like a gear set from this is going to be really expensive, and the chance of you getting something usable is going to be rather small. And you don't really need like crazy ass gear to progress in the early game. So if you were to buy packs in the game, I do not recommend buying these packs in particular. And if you were to buy any packs, I would recommend buying energy pack, because energy can turn into fodder. Your body is a machine. You can turn energy into fodder, silver into many other things when you play the game, and you progress into account experience as well. So packs with a lot of energy, in my opinion, are going to be more worth it, and also packs that require you to log in frequently are also going to be a little bit more worth it. Do not buy gear pack that give you like instant gratification like gear pack, or maybe buying chicken, is usually not the best idea. I would always go for the energy instead, because you are literally getting the chicken, but at the same time, many other things as well. Right now, this is going to be my summon haul, looking very fun right there. But I heard there's going to be like a crazy event that will allow me to sort of guarantee myself a champion if I summon enough. And that is when a lot of raid player do the summoning on their account, and they don't summon whenever and wherever. And that is what I'm saving for. Another place to get gear, and also the goal for a lot of beginner account, is going to be the clan boss, the demon lord, because when you look at the stuff you can get from here, it is going to be a lot of different kind of chests, and that is where a lot of people get their gear and their summoning currency as well. So don't forget to do your demon lord key every single day so that you can potentially get your hands on a decent piece of gear. And that's it for me today. Use code RAID7 for Pelops so they have an insane start, and use my link down below if you want to start raid and you're gonna have an epic journey with me together.